Everybody. It's been a while since I've done a long video on this channel. I want to do a different kind of video that's not Unity assets or tech related. I get a lot of emails about people that have noticed some of my posts about personal health struggles, and I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk about those, and not really because I'm trying to get attention for myself, but more to bring awareness of that there's so many people suffering from chronic illness or mental health or whatever case may be, and those searching for answers. Maybe you'll find this video, maybe you'll find something helpful in the comments, so thought I would make a video. I'm going to put my glasses on. Obviously for about 4 years now I've dealt with chronic migraines. Mine are a combination of classic migraine and vestibular migraines. So in addition to your typical migraine symptoms of light sensitivity, noise sensitivity, pain, pressure, throbbing, I also get tinnitus and vertigo pretty regularly, and brain zaps, which is exactly what it sounds like, a shocking throughout the brain that does pretty gnarly things sometimes. I'm 45, so I'm not surprised as I'm aging. The body's sort of breaking down a little bit. That's to be expected, and I've noticed if I don't watch my diet carefully, my stress, get good exercise, then everything is worse. But I'll sort of run through my history here on what happened. I had back surgery back in 2015, and I noticed pretty much right after that surgery various weird neurological issues like floaters in my eyes, flashes of light, ocular migraines where you have these weird zigzaggy light patterns that go for about 15 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is at least partially related to the back surgery, but also probably just getting older. Fast forward to 2019, I started having my first vertigo attacks and was sort of very panicked, having never had a severe vertigo attack before. I've had vertigo before when I'm on an amusement park ride, but never sort of waking up in the middle of the night with everything spinning. So had MRIs on my brain, everything was fine. After a few weeks, that vertigo from that initial attack calmed down, and then I sort of had just a mild migraine for months, and then by the summer, everything had sort of gone back to normal, which I was like, all right, I guess it was a fluke. But a few months later, again, I really wasn't watching my diet or my stress or work level. Fall of 2020, COVID year, obviously, it was going to happen. That's a good year to happen. I had a severe vertigo attack in the middle of the night, and it didn't go away. It lasted for about a week. I had the vertigo. Anytime I moved my head or my body, it was like super bad spinning, brain zaps, the whole works. And so I started doing what's called vestibular therapy, where I went to a neurological clinic and they put me on various exercises to help get my body and my vestibular system recalibrated. One of the fun things they did, put me on a treadmill that was inclined, wearing a VR headset, going on a roller coaster. So that was like the most vestibular stimulation I've had in my life, and I was in a harness, thankfully, because I was like falling all over the place. But the vestibular therapy has been helpful, if nothing else, to get my brain used to feeling dizzy and vertigo so that it doesn't produce as much anxiety, but it also helps just to keep that system engaged and to help with the healing a little bit. I've obviously been seeing mental health professionals because anytime you have a chronic illness, it's sort of a 24/7 barrage of things. You don't really get a break, not like a flu or a cold where you're sick for a few days or a few weeks and then you start feeling better. With this, it's sort of always there. So I have huge respect for anyone dealing with major chronic or any chronic illness, really. And there's so many people. In my travels the last several years, I've found just hundreds of people, and probably there are hundreds of millions all over the world, and a lot of them probably you would never know because they're not going to go out and just share it with everyone, and it's taken me 4 years before I felt like I should even share this publicly. So it's been a challenge. There's been times where I was like, I am done with this. You know, you go to those dark places, and you know, part of the mental health aspect of this is being okay with those thoughts coming in from time to time, but trying not to entertain them too much. You know, it's okay to have these waxing and waning of moods, and the struggle with things like this. Very normal. Some days I don't get anything done and I'm just dizzy and have vertigo, and other days I'm a lot more productive. I can write lots of code, and you know, I try to have a good balance. One thing with this is I haven't been able to work those hardcore 15-hour days anymore. Sometimes I can work 4 hours, sometimes 10, but you know, usually it's about 6 hours before my brain's really hurting, and things start flaring up. So if you're seeing a little bit less content on this channel, or output for me in all of my endeavors, Unity assets, whatever case may be, that's part of the reason. Is I'm just slowing down a little bit and having to be very more precise in what I build, what I spend my time on. I can't have the high volume throughput that I was able to do in my younger years, which is frustrating to me. I really like to build stuff. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm still going to build stuff, maybe just not as much, and maybe I'll just be more targeted and picky about what I build, and still hopefully be able to contribute some good to this planet somehow. Anyway, as far as treatment goes, probably we'll get into that. You know, I've done the full gamut of antidepressants and anticonvulsants that are typically prescribed for chronic migraines. Have not found a ton of relief from that, unfortunately. Funny enough, the most helpful things for me are antihistamines. I take a Unisom every night, have for like a year. Yeah, you're not technically supposed to do that, but it really reduces my brain zaps and helps me to get a night's sleep that lets me be functional, so I'll take the consequences of doing that. When the vertigo gets really bad, I take benzodiazepines, which is like Valium or Ativan or Xanax. I try not to do that more than, say, once a month, because those drugs are only meant for short-term use. So that's my medication regimen. Supplement-wise, you know, magnesium. Take a European drug called vincepatine that's supposed to help with blood flow in the brain. Lemon bioflavonoids, also a sort of a capillary blood flow assistant. Multivitamin, probiotics. Let's see, anything else? I think I take vitamin D sometimes, or I've tried taking zinc, but you know, I really only have 4 or 5 key supplements that I'm taking at this point. I started doing yoga. You know, managing stress has been super important, because with any kind of vestibular or tinnitus, I have constantly, with that, you just have constant anxiety. It's sort of unavoidable, just because everything's moving when you're not moving, and you're always hearing these crazy sounds, and so it can quite literally drive you insane. So doing things that reduce stress, or try to zen out and be calm, has really helped, and it's taken me since the beginning. Really, summer of last year was the first stretch of time that I had where I started feeling a little bit normal. You know, never feel completely normal. But then I've had another flare up in December, so I'm back to being in the sort of nasty chronic state, so I'm trying to break out of that again. I think I don't want to keep this under 10 minutes, so I think that the closing remarks I would leave for everyone listening is, one, be kind to everyone, and be giving, but also follow your dreams and passions, because life's pretty short. You don't know how much time you have before something could happen that can reduce your abilities, or take you from this planet completely. So I think it's super important to just be kind to each other, work hard, innovate, but be loving and kind and giving. I think that would be my message. That's the way I try to live my life. Anybody who's still listening, thank you. Hope you've enjoyed the Unity assets and other software over the years, and I'm going to keep plugging away until I'm incapacitated or dead, so you'll see me here from time to time posting more videos about various projects. So appreciate all of you. Good luck. Hope everybody's doing all right, and we'll call it good.